Welcome to my podcast. Today, I'll be talking about why young players are taking over the NHL. The NHL has changed. The league is now a young players league as opposed to a veteran heavy league of the past. It seems like the prime age of players is much younger than in past years. From 1980 to 2010, the prime age of players was 26 to 32. Right now, if you're over the age of 30, you are considered old in the league. Since 2010, the prime age of players is much younger because of Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane. Because they have won 3 Stanley Cups and are considered top 10 players in the NHL, and they are 24. Now the prime age of players will for sure be younger with the flux of young talent coming into the league. In the World Cup of Hockey, you saw a dominant North America team that will be the face of the NHL for the foreseeable future. Or they will likely be the face of the NHL for the near future. Connor McDavid will likely be the best player in the NHL for the next decade. He is already probably a top 5 player in the NHL already. Auston Matthews will probably be a top 20 player in the NHL for the next decade. Auston Matthews had a blistering debut. He took the league by storm, scoring 4 goals in his league debut, which is a very memorable one, telling the league that he has arrived. Aaron Ekblad is already considered one of the best two-way defensemen in the league, which is why the Florida Panthers signed him to a long-term extension with $7.5 million. Johnny Gaudreau is one of the most exciting players in the NHL right now. Gaudreau is a poor man's Patrick Kane, but he's not as good a shooter as Patrick Kane, and he's not nearly as dynamic as Patrick Kane. Jack Eichel has the potential to be a top 10 center in the NHL. Jack Eichel reminds me of a Jeremy Roenick in his prime. He has a good size to him. He's pretty good with using his size to his advantage. He has a good shot. He needs to work on his passing a little bit, but just with his size, speed, and shot, he should be a very good player and be a good franchise player. Nathan MacKinnon is very talented and very skilled. He can be a top 10 or top 20 player in the NHL. Nathan MacKinnon has made strides to improve his game. He's already a better two-way player. He's a better face-off man, and he's a better all-around player in general. Seth Jones is a top pair shutdown defenseman who can be a top 20 defenseman in the NHL. If Seth Jones can increase his offensive output, he can definitely be a top 20 defenseman. The only thing preventing him from being top 20 right now is his plus minus and the fact that he doesn't play on a good team. Jonathan Drouin is a very exciting player to watch who has the potential to be a top 50 player. Jonathan Drouin is very flashy, but he's never going to be that go-to player on the team. As long as he's playing on Tampa Bay, he's not going to be the go-to player with Stamkos, Kucherov on the team. He's not going to be the go-to guy. He can be the playmaker on the team, but he's not the go-to scorer. Besides the players playing on Team North America, there are also some very good European players excelling in the NHL. Vladimir Tarasenko is an elite goal scorer and is already a top 20 player in the NHL. He has already scored 40 goals in back-to-back seasons, or rather, he scored close to 40 goals in one season and scored 40 goals last season. Patrik Laine will be an elite goal scorer in the NHL for the next decade. The biggest debate is whether Auston Matthews is better or Patrik Laine is better. Do we really have to compare? I mean, Patrik Laine is a better scorer. Auston Matthews is a better all-around player. Artemi Panarin is a perfect fit alongside Patrick Kane, which makes the Blackhawks a much harder team to play against. Let's just face it, that line of Artemi Panarin, Patrick Kane, and Artem Anisimov is a pain in the neck. That line alone can just score like 3 or 4 goals a game, and they win the game. Rasmus Ristolainen is an all-around defenseman who will be a top 20 defenseman in the NHL for the next few years. The guys are already playing 29, 30 minutes a game and is among Buffalo Sabres leaders in points. He's going to be a very big part of the Sabres in the near future and is already a big part of their team. And is going to take the league by storm in the near future. Evgeny Kuznetsov will be a top 10 center in the NHL for the next decade. Evgeny Kuznetsov probably is a top 20 center right now, but he will work his way into being the top 10 center. Nikita Kucherov will be a top goal scorer in the NHL with the next few years. With the talent he's playing with in Tampa Bay, it's hard to imagine him not being a top goal scorer. And John Klingberg is an up-and-coming young defenseman that many players and many teams, as well as many fans in the NHL, overlook. John Klingberg is already a top-pair defenseman. He's not the flashy defenseman, but he puts up points. And he gets unnoticed because of the likes of Ekman Larson, Drew Doughty, Erik Karlsson, PK Subban, Roman Josi, and all the good offensive defensemen like Brett Burns as well. But John Klingberg is a very good offensive defenseman as well. Not only are there many good individual players, but there are rivalries being formed between the players. McDavid and Matthews has the potential to be the next Ovechkin versus Crosby rivalry. McDavid versus Eichel can be the 1 and 2 of the draft. This one is kind of forced upon us by the rivalry, by the media rather, because realistically, I don't know if you can compare Eichel to McDavid because McDavid is clearly better. McDavid versus Gaudreau is a better comparison because you have a Battle of BC or Battle of Alberta, which is definitely a rivalry. And then you have Matthews versus Eichel, Battle of the Americans in the 15 and 16 draft, and Matthews versus Laine, Battle of the 1 and 2 draft in the 2016 draft. Yeah, McKinnon versus Jones, who were going for the consensus number 1 pick in the 2013 draft, and McKinnon versus Drouin, who were line mates in Halifax, and it's always an exciting duel. You have Tarasenko versus Panarin, who play on rival teams, but played on the Team Russia together in juniors, and as well as Kuznetsov versus Tarasenko, who also played on juniors together. There are many great young players in the NHL I didn't mention either, but the point is, young players are taking the league by storm. In fact, I would argue that they're taking over the league now. Next, I'll talk about why Carey Price is on another level from all other goalies in the NHL.